Hi, everyone. It's so good to be with you. I am super excited to introduce you to my friend Eleanor, and we're going to be going to take a women's group to Ireland next September. So September 19 through October 2nd, 2026. And we're here just to introduce what we're going to do. And Eleanor, I'm so excited that we're doing this together. So
Yeah,
Eleanor grew up in Ireland and she's going to show us some slides and give us a lot of really, really helpful information. So welcome, Eleanor.
thank you so much, Megan. And I am extremely excited about this because this is a journey through the Ireland that I really know, that I was born into, grew up in, and love, deeply love. And so to be able to share that with, others and with yourself is a fantastic opportunity.
Yeah,
And so I'm going to start with the photos now.
great.
And here we are. This is let me just, is that showing okay?
I think so. Yep, can see it
Yep.
perfectly.
Okay. Grand. Right. So here we are in County Kerry, where I'm from, where South County Kerry, where I grew up. And this is one of the most astonishing sacred places in Ireland. And you visited it yourself.
I did, yes. We are going to go here, and these are the Ura stones. Um, Really one of the most spectacular stone circles I've ever felt. And it was one of those wild Irish days when we went and we walked down, there was no one there. And this is a particularly wild circle. So I think it's going to be a really fantastic place for us as a circle of women to do some ritual and some activations.
It really is. And, if you look at the way the stones are placed, the way that the waterfall down the opposite hill, you have the flow of the water, then you have the lake, which is, of course, the stillness of the water, and then the power of that standing stone, which is, I mean, I think it's something like 3 or 4 meters high, and it's anchoring in all these energies.
Yeah.
You can really sense that. So and these, of course, were places where people went to raise energy, and that's what we're going to be doing. And this is the beach where I grew up. It's in looking out to the Dingle Peninsula. And this is you can see something of that magic immensity of the Irish skies and the way they invite you almost into a sense of opening out into really the vastness that underlies our physical reality. And the light that changes, that shifts with the wind, the clouds, all that. It's a very, very particular land and seascape. So we're just going to have a little look at where we're going to begin. We're going to begin here in Dublin, where I went to school and university. And from Dublin, we're going to be exploring the Boyne Valley. And the Boyne Valley, of course, is, I think, quite rightly famous as one of the most important Neolithic sacred sites in the whole of Europe, more ancient than the pyramids. We're
Mhm.
going back 6,000 years at least.
Mhm.
So we're going back to that ancient knowledge that, you've explained to me. It's the ancient knowledge that was passed down from the Atlantean teachings and spiritual technologies. And Ireland really was a guardian, a place where these were preserved and guarded for over many thousands of years.
Mhm.
Yeah. So from the Boyne Valley, the Hill of Tara, the sacred site of Uisneach. We're going to be crossing the country. So from here down, going to be going through Tipperary to visit a wonderful sacred well, holy well, we call them, sacred springs, and then down here to Kerry. And as you can see here, this is really one of the most spectacular coastlines
Mhm.
anywhere in the world. And we're going to be staying just around here.
Mhm.
But to begin with, we've got a few days in Dublin, and this is the old library of Trinity College Dublin, where I went to university. So I knew this room very well. And it has, of course, one of the greatest treasures, really, of ancient Irish culture, original Christian Celtic culture, which is, of course, the Book of Kells. And
Mhm.
the Book of Kells is part of this tradition of illuminating, magic illumination of manuscripts, so that the original sacred text is decorated in the most fabulously intricate and wild and imaginative ways. And we're going to be able to see this. It's on display in Trinity College Old Library, and there's an exhibition around it as well.
Mm.
And also some of the other, Dublin is got a lot to offer, and it's a very vibrant, city. And we're going to have a few days there to explore some pubs and cafes as well as.
I'm going on a music pub crawl.
We have arranged the music pub crawl. That one is definitely on the agenda. Yeah. And so then from Dublin, we're going out to this area here. And this is the Boyne Valley. And what we're looking at is the River Boyne. And it's surrounding, as you can see, it's making a loop, a great circle around this particularly important site here. You can just about see it at the edge. And this is called Newgrange. And I think many people are familiar with it because it is a famous astrological alignment with the rising sun at the winter solstice.
Hmm.
And we're going to visit this whole area along with the Hill of Tara. And it is dense with this luminous sense, really, of presence, isn't it?
Hmm. Yeah, and I was saying to Eleanor when I first saw this slide that it reminds me of images I've seen of ancient Atlantis with the temples and the buildings built on land that is surrounded by rings of water. And
Mm.
so it doesn't surprise me at all that Newgrange and Nouth are all built around here. And we're going to go to a place that's very near Newgrange that they say was an ancient Atlantean mystery school spot. And it felt like that to me. So I'll be interested to hear how everyone else
Mm.
experiences that. But this landscape right here is super magical because of the flowing of the river and the wild elements coming together that then create these perfect frequency alignments for the temples that they built.
Mm. Yeah, amazing. And of course, with your, you have this deep knowledge also of the Egyptian, mysteries, which were perhaps, continuation of some of what was here at a very, very early stage. I mean, we all know that, human history goes back far further than we usually admit, but nevertheless, we're looking at 6, 7,000 years ago.
Mhm.
An amazingly, um, detailed and intricate cosmology of light. And it's so this portal here that is Newgrange, faced with the quartz. And you said that the quartz is not only about the reflecting the light, but also focusing sound.
Yeah, it has piezoelectric qualities. And so
Mhm.
the way that the it helps the resonant chamber when you go inside. I'm sure they did sounding and music and toning and all kinds of things to conduct the sound. And then, of course, the light would come into the chamber.
As it does here. And here we have the very first rays of that winter solstice dawn light, the frequency of light that comes at what is for us in the Northern Hemisphere the darkest time of year. And yet it has a very particular and very special and I think important quality to be received consciously at that time.
Mm,
And I think what's amazing as well, traveling together, traveling with you, traveling with the group, is how much the places themselves actually teach us
mhm.
directly. So what we can feel while being there, and we'll be able to go inside and go into the back chamber and
Yeah, that really is a spectacular thing to do. So we'll do that together as a group.
yeah. And then we have all over Ireland, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of these sacred springs, sacred wells, spring-fed pools. And they're their importance, which is that the spring, the pool, the water is a portal, sacred portal into this, I mean, deep feminine within the land. And even to this day, you have for the holy wells, they will have special days when people will go there.
Mm,
They'll maybe make some prayers or just acknowledge the presence in the water. Very, very important part of ancient Irish, Celtic, and Celtic Christian spirituality was to visit the waters in this conscious way.
mm.
And this is one where it said St. Patrick was a baptizing early Christians. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. But it's got a really exquisite feel to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to go there. And then from there, we are coming to South Kerry.
Yeah.
And this is where we're going to be staying, Megan, in
Yeah.
this gorgeous hotel on this amazing estate. We're looking at 500 acres here, which is, this estate was one I knew as a child. I used to go here with my grandmother. It is, okay, I'm Irish, I'm prejudiced, but it really is one of the most beautiful places in the entire world.
It is.
It is, yeah.
I synchronistically was in Ireland a few years ago with my family, and we were driving along this particular road, and I saw this in the distance, and I said, for whatever reason, I said, we have to stop here. So we stopped, we had high tea. It was just the most glorious thing. And I told my family, I said, I am coming back here to stay. And so when Eleanor and I were deciding where to go, I said, "Oh, what's that place?" And she said, "Oh, it's Park Nasilla." So we're going to be staying in cabins and in the cozy cabins in the woods with peat fires. And I am super excited. We're going to plant ourselves here for 4 days so that we can kind of base ourselves here and then go see some of the stone circles.
I think that's really fabulous. And being able to make a fire when we come back in the evening and share our experiences, tell some stories.
Mm.
This is the hotel itself here. It has a lovely pool, both indoor and outdoor, very nice spa as well. So at the end of the day, if people are tired, it's a wonderful place to relax. And we have a lovely local chef who's going to cook for us, and
Great.
he's specializes in organic, local, and wild foraged food.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. So that's also a way into the culture, how really the traditional food is something that, he's also going to be able to give us that experience. And yeah, it is a very, very lovely place to stay. So we have 4 nights here
Hmm.
in our cottages. And from there, we're going to be visiting, you've seen this image already, these stone circles. And this is one of many. So we're in an area, South Kerry, which really are, there's large numbers of these sacred circles placed with great consciousness in the landscape.
Yeah. I really felt like this was a place because it has the wind, the water, the rock,
Mm,
the earth, the it had and the sun coming out. It had all the elements, and I felt like it was in a magical alchemical chamber. And I
mm,
remember standing in the middle of that circle and visualizing, seeing a group of women. And this is
mm.
what really inspired me to ask Eleanor to do this trip with me because I feel like there is so much coming from the land that we need to hear, we need to listen, we need to sing, we need to sound, and really find our own voice now. And so I have this fantasy of us doing this wonderful ritual inside this little stone circle because it's super powerful and hardly anyone knows about it. So there haven't been many humans like at Stonehenge. There's so many humans all the time. This is wild, and so we're going to get to really do some work here in a beautiful private space.
I think that's so important. There is a lot of human presence in an ancient sacred site, unless those people are able to attune themselves, the energy does unfortunately depart,
Mhm,
and that hasn't happened here because there will be some people, but small numbers, and they're usually, I think, quite sensitive. And
mhm.
otherwise, we're in this cauldron of elemental powers. Mhm. Yeah. And this is one of the Killarney Lakes, place I dearly love. And there are 3 Killarney Lakes. They're famous, of course, for their beauty. And this is place there are lovely walking trails. It's very peaceful. There's a kind of deep contemplative energy here. These ancient oak woods, yew woods, waterfalls, and it's just an exquisite place. And it is the last remains of what we call temperate rainforests. That is to say, these forests that are in, very the moist West Atlantic coasts of Britain and Ireland. Many mosses and lichens and the and also you can definitely very soon feel the beautiful presence of the elemental nature
Mm.
spirits. They're very present here. These are fairy woods. They truly are.
Mhm.
And then we're going to go further west from Killarney and Kenmare, and we're going to these extraordinary islands called the Skelligs. And the word there, Skellig in Ireland, Skellig, it means rock, high place.
Yeah.
This photo is taken from the main Skellig, which is called Skellig Michael, or in Irish it's called Skellig Michael. And what you're looking at here are the remains of an ancient monastery settlement that dates back to the 600s, 700s.
Wow.
Um, these places, which were certainly powerful Druidic sites. I mean, when I was there, last time I was there, the archaeologist was saying how they found fire pits, remains of fire pits at the top. So thousands of years ago, people were making this incredible crossing from the coast of Kerry
Yeah.
right out to these two rocky pinnacles for, and that a very powerful reason, which is that here is a peak of energy
Mhm.
that they were able to sense and align with, and they lit the sacred fires at the top of Skellig Michael, and
Mhm.
that tradition then was continued by the monks who made these stone steps
Mhm.
carved, hand carved. There's several hundred of them. This is how you, as you land at the base of Skellig Michael, and you come up and you climb here. And it's very moving to really stand and walk on stones that were worked by people 12, 1300 years ago.
Mm.
Uh, and you know how important this was to them, how meaningful it was to them. You feel it directly.
Well, and this is also at the very beginning of the big Michael ley line that
Mhm.
starts here and moves all the way through um, uh, St. Michael's Mount, Mont Saint-Michel. There are other Templar castles, and it goes all the way to Jerusalem or
Mm.
Haifa, I think. And so this is the absolute beginning in the wild Atlantic of the
Mm.
Michael line, which is a very powerful energy line that crisscrosses all of Europe all the way to Palestine, Israel.
And the ancient peoples knew this.
Mhm.
They had the sensitivity to um, how we as humans are, how we raise our vitality and we raise our consciousness as we truly become present in these
Mm.
very potent sacred places. One of the things that, personally, when I've been here on the Skelligs, and I visited the Skelligs 3 times, and each time has revealed itself in a new way. But one of the things that has always amazed me is what we're seeing here are dry stone huts, and
Yeah.
they're called beehive huts. And as you can see, there's no mortar used. These are stacked stone upon stone, and those stones have scarcely budged in 1200 years because they were placed in such perfect alignment with each other.
Mhm.
And these are what the monks used when they slept in here, they read the liturgy in here. But what is clear from is that much of their sacred ceremonies were outdoors.
Mhm.
And the whole of really the natural world all around them, the ocean, the wind, the sun, the birds, the whales and dolphins that were there at the time, were all part of this celebration communion of life.
Beautiful.
And this is coming back to the beach where, I grew up as a child, looking to the Dingle Peninsula. And there's beautiful changing cloudscapes. So we're going to visit the farm where I grew up with my family, with my brother, and my brother lives there now. And this is one of the cottages on the farm. And as you can see, we are able to grow lavender and other beautiful herbs. And so what we're doing there now is actually growing um, plants, herbs, flowers, other botanicals for health, beauty, and well-being. And also gathering seaweed from the shore. Seaweed is a very, very wonderful therapeutic product that you can use in hot water in the bath or and so this is really from what my brother is doing is, we had a farm here growing up, but now he's transformed it into this, and which is wonderful to see. So we have a little farm shop. I'm going to be able to see, as you can see, there's quite a range of products.
I'm actually really excited about going here. So I've been to Eleanor's farm and stayed with her brother, and they didn't have this official shop set up, but I certainly got the products, and they are
They're
really
fabulous.
beautiful products. So we'll have a chance to really try them out and get some and get them as gifts and all that.
They are really fabulous. Absolutely. And this is my brother here, and
And his
we're
horse.
and of course, he's that's the kitchen door there. It's in fact one of my memories as a child is, when the kitchen door would be open, my pony would sometimes wander in and see if there was anything to eat. So when you sent me this photo, I thought back to, our childhood and, which we had with horses, and the horses would just sometimes just have a look in and see what was happening.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to be able to bring people,
Mm,
to, share what's
yeah.
such an important part of myself and my life.
Great. Oh, Eleanor, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for showing us those slides. And we're just really encouraging you that if you feel your heart being called to Ireland, you feel your heart being called, please join us. We do have some spaces open, and we'd love to have you with us on this trip. So thank you for joining us on this little journey, a little trip to Ireland. And Eleanor, thank you so much. And maybe closer to the time, we'll do another video and get people excited for where we're going.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care, everybody.